better Nigeria.
Welcome to London. What brings you here today?
Well, I'm invited by some group of Nigerians for interaction, and that's why I'm here.
There are some observers that have said the tour that you've embarked upon, which includes visiting the US, is starting some sort of campaign. The campaign isn't kicking off until the end of this month.
No, it's
How
not
do you respond to that?
It's not campaign, it's consultation. I'm consulting Nigerian diaspora to know why they should be involved in the Nigerian electoral process. It is not campaign. And you can see from my conversation and everything that what I'm doing is saying, well, let's be involved. It's consultation.
There's a large crowd here. There's a lot of warmth and love in this room towards you. How important is engaging with the diaspora, particularly because, of course, we know they don't have any voting rights as of yet?
Because they are the most critical component of turning around Nigeria. The investment Nigeria needs to turn around is diaspora. If they believe in Nigeria and bring their resources, both in terms of their material, their talent, their energy, will turn around the country.
There are some suggestions that you've managed to raise a whopping $150 million from your diaspora supporters.
Nobody have given me anything. That is speculation. What I need is not what they will give me, but what they will give Nigeria. Because we need them to turn around Nigeria. This is the energy, this is the capacity that we need to turn around Nigeria. Every country of the world that has turned around was done by their diasporans. Because even in the Bible, it was Joseph who left, but I'd rather come back and feed his people. So that's what we're doing. We need these people to turn around Nigeria. It's their energy, they have the talent. I don't want to continue sending money home just for welfare. I want that money to turn into investment, which will be beneficial to the people there and beneficial to them.
And lastly, sir, any lasting words for your supporters? I know people will be watching this tonight on Channels TV, not for just those in the diaspora, but for those back home.
Nigerian 2023 election should not be based on ethnicity, religion, connection, my term, or any bias. It must be on character, competency, capacity, and determination to deal with the problem of Nigeria.
Thank you.
I think you might have noticed that he's here. Sorry.
Everybody runs for cover, nobody cares. All people are waiting to see the remaining one. Again today, nobody knows how we can deal with it. If you go to endears now, they tell you the official date, oh, we're owing 41 trillion. 41 trillion is not true. We're owing our ways and means, which is money we borrow from central bank. It's not supposed to be 1 trillion. We're owing them 20. If you add it with something, why did we borrow the money? For consumption. So what I'm here this evening is for us to have an interaction. If I continue, I'm telling you bad story. But I can assure you, whatever we're going through today, countries have gone through it. Brazil went through it. Mexico, Colombia, all the Asian countries have gone through it. And they were able to reverse it. For doing that, it requires a lot of commitment. It requires that you have to have leaders and believe that this is possible. People tell me, even where I'm coming from now, it's like, how can you do it? I said, it's not impossible. You just need to shut down the place and start doing things in the right way. Just simple, doing it how other people are doing it. Nobody is asking too much. The simple thing. Countries after countries have borrowed money. No country today is not in bed. Where you people are staying now, like I told people in America, Britain today is owing over 70% of their GDP. Not a problem. After COVID, they even gave people money free to reflect the economy. There's not a problem. Yes, if they need it, because if they don't do it, the economy will collapse. So everybody is doing it. America did it. Japan owns 230% of their GDP, but everybody knew what they used the money for. They used it when they had an economic problem to reflect and keep their economy going. And besides, they own the highest treasury, American treasury today, is owned by Japan. So there's something that if you go and say to them, okay, you must pay something, they have something somewhere they can give you small. And only that if the man who will own comes, because you have thrown the money away, it's not there. It's been stolen. And that is the challenge we face. So we need to start reversing it. So what I'm here this evening is to have an interaction with you, because I'm sure you have few advices, I have a few learning points, and I have a few things. And then we will conclude by saying, let us not don't look at it that, oh, this person wants to be president, or this person wants to be this, or this person wants. No, it's not going to work. This time around, we're not going to vote anybody in. So go and start answering His Excellency again. Excellency, distinguished honorable has to be removed from Nigerian finance. So every 24 we must get it to work, and it can work. It is not rocket science, it can work. There's nothing in it. We have to now get people who are serious. Nigeria cannot generate power in 20 years. How? What is the power generation and distribution? A country of 200 million people, we're generating 4,000 megawatts of electricity. 200 million. And that's what the entire Nigeria lives on. And it's the biggest economy in Africa. It's the biggest country in Africa. So people are happy to live on it.
Go ahead.
And nobody is panicking. Nobody is worried. Yes. The second biggest economy in Africa is South Africa. With a population of about 60-something million, they generate, distribute about 50,000 megawatts. And just a month ago, the president of South Africa go and declare the emergency in power. He said they don't have enough power, so they declared the emergency and authorized that anybody or corporation can generate as much as 100 megawatts without license. Somebody with 50,000 declared the emergency. Somebody with 4,000 is keeping quiet. Egypt is doing over 50,000. The fastest deployment of power in the world today is Egypt, Vietnam, and India. These three countries have doubled their power generation in the past 5 years, between 2015 and 2021. That means I went to Egypt, I went to the power plant, I went to those who build it, I went to those who finance it, and I didn't see anything. Why? And the company was working in Nigeria. And I kept asking them, if you did this in Egypt, why didn't you do it in Nigeria? What happened? They kept quiet. Because they're Nigerian, they're in Egypt. So you did this for these people. Why didn't you do this for these people? What happened? They didn't want to answer me. Because I know what happened. Everybody knows what happened. So you are the one answering, not me now. But that's where we are. For how long are we going to be in this situation? For how long? We can't continue. When young people, I said we're here for interaction. So I want to listen to you. I want to see your questions So I know, take note and everything, I will conclude. Once again, I thank you for this evening. Please, for the sake of the children, for the sake, go to your house. Most of you are parents. Look at the picture of your children and say, what society are we going to be this way? Are we going to continue this way? If we don't want us to bequeath them anarchy, because this society we're allowing them to abuse, will only do one thing, take his maximum revenge on them. Please, let's get together and stop this situation.
Thank you.
I'll take questions. Thank you, and God bless you.
So we're going to take questions now. Let me start with you, sir. We're just going to bring the microphone to you. I'd like you to tell us your name and your question, but please keep it as brief as possible because we've got a full house.
30 seconds.
Keep your questions brief. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We so much appreciate you, His Excellency. I'm going to remove his now, but Mr. Peter will be from the presidency late straight away. Thank you. We're glad to have you. My name is Dr. Mark Chukwujiku. I'm an expert of sustainable development, teaching in London South University. I'm an architect by profession anyway. The coordinator of Rescue Nigeria. And also,
Go to your question now.
the question is,
If you keep quiet, he can ask his question. Thank you.
the question is, thank you very much.
Okay, don't walk into my.
Thank you very much. When you get an miracle tree, you do your best. His Excellency, having referred to many countries, and you made a very strong point. You said things are happening, and the people doing this, they have phone. Still, we can't trace who they are. Is there any way we want to employ some digital surveillance and technology in monitoring activities in Nigeria? For example, in Abu Dhabi, if anybody makes a call, you will know who made the call at the time you made the call. And we can use it to trace. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. You are not okay.
Thank you, sister. Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm going to be very brief. People are tired. My name is Lucy Okeke. Mr. President V, well, thank you for this information. We know some, we didn't know some. I've learned a lot. However, can I ask you a number of questions?
Sorry, it has to be one question. One question.
Given the condition of Nigeria today, which stems from birth politics, the 1999 legislation, okay, which has divided the country further, and that means, no, give me time, please, which means we have different people from every group being the legislation senators. How do you intend to manage this when you become the president? Given that INEC has lost its character and is working right, how do you intend to tackle the debate in the House? Because you are going to work on the democracy, you're not going to be a dictator. Okay?
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sir, over there. Hello. That gentleman over there. No, come this way. No. Primus, just a quick question. When you get into office, name Patrick Maido. When you get into office and you are assaulted by your in-trade of insecurity, unemployment, no power, and so many ills that we have, what would be the first thing you would pick up to say, let me tackle this, and why? I just want to understand your reason why. Thank you. My name is Njenje. Okute, I don't have much to say, but I want to ask you, well, I will do it in our pidgin language. I beg, why be say person go travel from Nigeria, go China, go buy goods, import come Nigeria, come reach Lagos, now only one wharf, now the full Nigeria say they go take the import. They will come frustrate you, the road will come there bad, then you go still carry them from there, they go east. Police will come block road. They collect all the things so you get one by one before you reach Onisha. Must we continue like this, Okute?
Please, can we keep it down and thank you so we can hear the questions? We'll get to you. Thank you. Please.
Nigeria is blessed with almost 50% of women and girls. Can you kindly tell us how you intend to be inclusive regarding women and girls, and how you intend to protect women and girls from the pervasive violence that they undergo, a situation where 1 in 3 women and girls have been violated in one way or the other.
Let me take this side and then continue. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm here, you won't look for me. I'm here now. Let me tell you. I'll start with the last question. And I've said this. Yesterday I was with students from the University of Columbia and I told them, one thing that I'm sure that if I'm involved, nobody will get away with this issue of sexual abuse, rape, or any form of
violence
against women. Child and everything. You have, like I said, we have to have adequate laws to punish people that do the wrong thing. And it's a critical component of what we must do as a nation to make the nation work. I have a daughter, so I know I don't want anything to happen to her. And it won't happen to other people. So that is, we can take for granted. The person that talked about war is unfortunate. The system is designed to allow confusion. Because those who designed it live off the confusion. I talked about war this evening. Nigeria have all it takes to earn rich living from a sports system. But because some people live off the confusion, they will not allow it. That's like they won't allow Nigeria to be opened up. And I assure you, that situation will change. I don't need that. Of course, you know everything happens in the world. I know very well. I'm a trader. So that's why I won't even bother. It will be a total change. Nobody will. Somebody about what do I do? What is my first priority? What is the second? What is the third? We are going to deal with about 1, 2, 3, 4 simultaneously, but number one is security. Nobody can live or invest in an insecure place. Insecurity is our greatest problem today. That we have food inflation is insecurity. Because farmers can no longer go to farm. And you can no longer cultivate new fields because of fear of being kidnapped, of all sorts of things. So you need to deal with it decisively. You cannot attract both local and foreign investment because of insecurity. So you need to deal with it immediately. Follow closely with that is law and order. These two intangible assets are critical in a society. A society must be secured, and people must be sure that if you do the wrong thing, you face the consequences of the law. Then you have to invest in education. Your human capital development drives your development. If you lack it, you're not going to go anywhere. Because that's what you need. Even before physical infrastructure, you have to deal with human infrastructure. And that is human development. And then you move in critical areas like power. Because you need it for production. You can't move the country from consumption to production without power. You need power. It's very critical. But these things, like I said, can be dealt with simultaneously. People think it's impossible. People think, oh, where are you going to get the revenue? Where are you going to get this? But where are we getting the revenue to do what we're doing? You know, invest the revenues. You see things start changing. So how do you deal with National Assembly? Let me tell you, people ask this question every day. I served Anambra State as governor with just maybe one or nobody from my party. National Assembly is not a problem. I keep saying the Assembly cannot be a problem. They are a problem when you are the leader is the problem. If you put everything on the table, nobody is going to do anything. I put it and dragged everybody. I've served in a system where I was governor, and I can tell you, in my 8 years of being governor, no elite in Anambra State is happy with me.
We know why.
No, it's not a question of why. And I've said to everywhere I've been, if I win today, no individual here will be happy. We will all be collectively happy. But no single individual will be happy. Because I'm not promising any of you happiness. You will even be annoyed with me. But I assure you that the country will work. So I governed a place where I was quarreling with everybody. But it was working. So don't worry about National Assembly. That is not my worry. National Assembly is not safe. They want security. Because they even want to go to their constituency safely. They want to see light. They want to see this. I'm going to take it. I'm going to be open. It's going to be transparent. Everything I'm promising today, everything I'm saying we're going to do, will be visible, will be measurable. The people can see it. We're not going to waste anybody's time. I'm not in need to waste people's time. Everybody must see what we're doing. And I've done it somewhere before. They ask me a question now, how are you going to fight corruption? And I say, listen, if we gave somebody $1 yesterday and didn't steal it, they said, yeah, we can entrust you with today. I had the opportunity of stealing money somewhere, and I left it and moved on. So, it's a simple thing. We will deal with the situation. On the issue of employment of technologies for crime, let me assure you, I don't know how. We need to repeat the entire security architecture. The technology is there. Don't think they don't have machine. They have all those things. Today, everything is there. I don't want to say anything. don't we have state police? The reason is that people don't want to, they know that if you put all this in place, there will be security. As governor, I have community police. I paid every community security system from my office. Bought every community vehicle for security. Why can't we do it for the nation? Now simple, as I listen. I'm not saying you're going to solve it overnight, but it's something you can tackle head on and get away with it and do it in your own time. And that brings me back finally to what you said about equal opportunity for women. I don't need to tell you about opportunity for women. As governor, I work with more women than men. That's correct. You can go ahead. My chief of staff, head of service, accountant general, commissioner for finance, commissioner for education, commissioner for, they were all women. In fact, I was telling somebody yesterday, I showed them a very beautiful article by my head of service, Mrs. Mary Fong. In Washington, in New York yesterday, somebody asked me, he said, Ms. Mary Fong sent me this. And he said that you said she should not have circulated it. I said yes. She wrote a beautiful article. Stinginess as a brilliant strategy. Because she used to complain to me. She used to complain to me about being stingy. Until I started using the money to pay off gratuity, pension, everything. And he started asking me, where are you getting the money? I said, you just wanted that cut off. So we're using properly. That's what we used to fund education. That's how we move education from 26 number one. We didn't print money. The money we left in Anambra State was not money printed. It was the same money that people were just taking anyhow, thinking, I said, no, public money is for public good, but you keep it for them. Can't take it away. So women will be given the time. So that's okay, let's come here. There's a woman.
Your Excellency, by the grace of God, okay, so the question is, what are you going to do about the commemoration in regards to the Chinese that come into the country? They set up manufacturing facilities all over the place, and they don't employ fellow Nigerians. They just keep it to themselves, and they do a lot of illegal stuff. So they come in container loads coming in with immigrants of China. What are you going to do about that?
Your Excellency, we see your contribution for Nigeria, and I believe that's what has driven many of us here. But those of us rooting for you, one question I think keeps coming up even in conversations with my friends, family, and all of that is, with the wealth of resources the PDP and APC have in terms of penetration in the local areas, how do you intend to overcome that so that Labour Party turns out victorious?
Thank you, Mr. P.O.B. You have said quite a lot of lovely things, so many good things. I just wanted to find out what constitution do we use to govern if elected Nigerians?
Mr. B, thank you very much for coming. The question I wanted to ask, as you were talking about Nigeria being a criminal entity, we know fully well that people are not happy that you're going to come into government, and the people that are driving the corruption. Are they going to be people that you're going to show an example of what people do when they corrupt the country?
Yeah, Our Excellency. My name is Chukwudi Benjamin Amos. My question, I think last man just asked my question, but I still want to have another question to ask. So, please, sir, how are you going to battle or tackle or fight with this cabal that we have on that as well? How are you going to battle with them? Because that is another important issue.
Thank you.
Both of them, like I said, similar question, but you want me to go in and use some people as an example, and he wants me to battle. How am I going to battle the corrupt, the cabal? Let me tell you, I've said it and I'm very clear on it. Those who think about yesterday and today will miss tomorrow. I'm not going to spend my energy looking for them. We put a system that will help us to find out what happened in the past. And if we do, I'm telling you, if we do, we'll find out whether there's anything we can recover. Yes. If there's something we'll recover and something we can deal with, we'll deal with it and move on. Punishment. Go and listen to my argument. You can't close your shop and be chasing thieves. By the time you come back, when you come back, you've lost customers. More goods have expired. That's what this government did. Between me and you, as at the time this government came into being, the total debt of Nigeria was about $something billion. Today we have 90. Today we have 100. What did they do for it? They were busy chasing people and wasting everybody's time. If they had taken that money, we are talking about poverty. If they're taking that money, if they're taking from $90 billion that they borrowed, and decided to fight to deal with power for $15 billion, Nigeria would have been generating today minimum of 15,000 megawatts of electricity. And for every 1,000 you add in electricity in a developing country, you can increase your GDP by 1%. If they are taking that and decided to fight poverty genuinely, if you look at what the Njenje Foundation said, that for every $5,000 they give to an entrepreneur, he employs every 1 year or 2 years, 20 persons. Imagine if they are taking just 25 billion out of it to say we are giving to 5 million young people, entrepreneurs, assuming only 3 million of them survive, which is 60%, and they employ half of the percentage. Tommy Njenje Foundation said 10, they would have created 30 million jobs. We won't be where we are today. You wasted everybody's time. You are chasing people who stole money. That is not my business now. I'm not saying we will look for them all. Remember what I said? That will not be my preoccupation. Because for Nigeria to work today, what you need to stop is to stop the bleeding first. Stop the stealing first. It is where they're chasing people that I can't tell you are 200. No. You are snake and rats, we are eating money. No. That's not where we're going to be. You need to stop it. I was governor in Anambra State. And I told them, I don't want to hear about what happened in the past. let's look for it, but let's deal with the president. I answered it in an interview this evening. You see here, I said, I was governor of Anambra State for 8 years. And we received about $500 billion naira. If you trace where 1% of it was misappropriated, I will stop campaigning. I will not say anything again. I had the opportunity to convert their money. Where I left money is documented. Where I left money is documented. So it's not a story that I left $155 million. I was saving in dollars, I was saving in naira. So they that I left $155 million, which I would have converted and taken away because nobody kept his own. I had that something billion naira, which I would have kept and taken away because nobody kept his own. And go to Anambra State today. If you see a piece of land allocated by government of Anambra State to B2B directly or indirectly, come and will stop campaigning. They've never bought me pure water since I left. They brought benefits of governor when I leave. I told them I'm living here. I'm not even taking anything. It's goodbye. I've served the people, I'm going home. So, if you want to stop it, you start with yourself. Start with your family. Start with your friends. Everybody knows. I have somebody who served as the Commissioner for Women Affairs in Anambra State, this one. He will tell you, when I came to Anambra State, I shut everything down. Everybody in the office of governor, everything was shut down. Completely. I was the only person who operated as governor. These are things, what am I saying? You need to cut things down. Cost of governance in Nigeria is unacceptable anywhere in the world. Britain have just elected, had a new prime minister today. If they see that woman with 5 vehicles tomorrow, they will impeach him next month. You will go. Vote of confidence. If tomorrow they see me with 5 vehicles, she's gone. This is a country with 3.2 trillion economy, 8 times Nigeria. If you go to chairman of my local government, drives 5 cars. Chairman of local government. The entire country is $400 billion GDP. Somebody with 8 times that, if they see that woman in private jet tomorrow, private plane going to Nigeria, she's gone. If she wants to go, she will go with British Airways. That is the country. That is what we are questioning. You go to America. I went to America and I told them, when I became governor, I quarreled with everybody. I was the only governor. And people say, oh, Peter, you don't have to say, if this thing is not good. Women don't like it. I said, I was the only governor without all this confessing. My wife never campaigned. Nobody voted her. She's not part of it. 2 of us are very, everybody knows that the closest person in my life is my wife. But nobody voted for her. So why are you looking on this? What is your office? You create an office, buy convoy car for somebody that have no office, no portfolio, nothing, just to add to the confusion. It's already existing. So we have to shut down the cost of governance. And you start it. Don't go looking for the past. The past is good, but I want to stress on this. We are not going to spend all our time on the past. And I'm not going to use anybody. For example, nobody said about structure of PDP, whether you can dismantle, that is structure that kept us where we are. That is structure of criminality. That is structure that is stealing our oil. That is the structure I'm campaigning to dismantle. So that structure cannot continue. It is a structure that has no generated power. We cannot continue with that structure because it doesn't work. How many powers have that structure generated? Apart from having gangsters that have kept us where we are. They must go. If we keep them because it's their turn, we are finished. Immigration and the Chinese. Let me tell you, don't blame the Chinese. Don't blame the Chinese. If anybody comes to your house and takes your thing, don't blame the person. It is your fault. Some of the things that's happening in Nigeria is the fault of all the people we have. They have a criminality. No, Nigerians are also insanely complacent about what people do with public office. Because I know that it's only in Nigeria that nobody owns a house. We vote him in, he goes in, steals our money, builds a very big house, and invites the priest, everybody, bishop, for Thanksgiving, and Nigerians are there, they are eating with him. If he comes to London here, he uses Nigerians to buy property. They know this man did not have house before he became anything. But instead of calling police, they are celebrating with him. So we're insanely complex. I left this place to go and be governor. Where I was living when I left is where I'm still living. If you see Peter buying new house, you call police to investigate how he got this money. Don't say he used to have money. Why didn't he buy it before? Since he's been buying it before, let him leave it the way it is. We must question people. We must ask the rascality of people. That's what happens here. If this woman they make prime minister tomorrow, buys a new house, he will bring the inheritance of his grandfather that gave him the money to buy it. Everybody will see. Everybody will go and tell what his grandfather did for him to buy it. That's what makes a society. In our own place, everybody will go there and be telling me His Excellency. They say, what is the Excellency stealing? So it's don't blame Chinese. Blame us. If we are doing the right thing, no. Can you go here and do the wrong thing? You can't do the wrong thing here because they will make sure that's it. You can't go to China and do the wrong thing. So if somebody is doing the wrong thing in your place, it's because it's colluding with your people and getting away with it. So that's, for me, the next 5 questions. And I plead, like I said, wow. No problem. Move on. We'll do the next set of 2 sets.
Please, can I ask that we just keep it down? We'll try and get to as many people as we can. Can we just try and keep it down? Thank you. Please, can we just keep it down? We'll get to you, please. Thank you.
His Excellency, I just want to say thank you very much for being here. And thank you very much for agreeing to take this position to fight for Nigeria. I've been in this country for a little less than 40 years. And the last time I went to Nigeria was in 1998.
Thank you. Please don't let her lie. Thank you.
Right.
Please, can we keep it down? I beg you, please.
So I have not been to Nigeria since 1998 because the last time I went to Nigeria, my niece, who was following me around, was abducted. We have not found her till today. So I made myself vow that I will never go back to Nigeria unless Flora Chichi Ifagu is found. Yeah, so she hasn't been found till today. My family is, you know, we're abroad. My brothers are, my eldest brother is hold on. My eldest brother is a diplomat for United Nations. My other brother is a big person in Shell America. Excuse me. So we are all working for foreign governments, things we could have done for Nigerian government. Yeah? So I have always shunned politics, Nigerian politics. It was only when you came up, I decided I'm going to stick my neck out for Peter Obi. So I am sticking my neck out for you, and I need you to let me know that when you get that post, which you will get by the grace of God, that I'll be able to say, yes, I can come home again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Let me assure you, I'm going to answer this before I continue. Let me assure you, let me most sincerely condole you on your cousin. People go through, in your niece, people go through this sad situation every day in Nigeria. And it's a dreadful thing. And I don't blame you. If you go home, if I am in a place where somebody is kidnapped, I won't come there again. I'm being honest with you. I've seen so many painful things happen to people in my country, and I assure you, you know, I set my things. It's a long time nobody knows what will happen that accident with issue of security. You know, and again, like you said, you are here working in other countries and helping them to build their country when you are supposed to do that in your country. And that is my main reason for doing this. As I'm doing this, I'll tell you I'm going through difficulties myself. Every day you're harassed, every day you're condemned, every day people say to you, Peter, you're putting your life on this, everything. But what I tell them is that there's nothing else to live for. You know, there's nothing else. I've done everything that I need to do as a human being. You know, and that there's nothing else. We just have to either change the situation, or we know we'll try to change it, but to abandon it where criminals have taken it over, it won't work. So, my dear, just accept my success in my name. I know that your pain is our pain, and that is what we want to change. I know there's somebody who talked about constitution. Let me tell you, people think the constitution of Nigeria as it is today is the problem. The constitution as it is today can actually be used to do a lot. What as I've governed the states, and I can tell you, when I went there, people gave all of the schools where it will not work. Is the constitution why people are stealing? No, I'm just asking because the constitution is bad. Is that why accountant general took 100 billion? What is what does it have to do with constitution? So the fact is that while we try to amend the constitution, I've told you here now, why will federal government not allow state police? Why will federal government be involved with education? What we do with those matters, what we need to stop first is to stop people mismanaging public resources. Nigerian problem is not because of anything, it's people managing the resources of the country more efficiently. It's not about just constitution. It's about borrowing money and throwing it away. The first time Nigeria borrowed money was in 1963. So it's not the first time we borrowed money. Go and read what Tafapalawa wrote to the World Bank. He wrote that he's borrowing the money to build 760 megawatts of electricity from Kainji Dam. Kainji Dam is still there. Where is the one we borrowed today? That's what we're asking. Where is the money? Where is it? Who are we paying subsidy? Who is taking the money? Why can't we have refinery? What is the wrong with building refinery? That is the problem we have as a country. So, constitution is a problem. We will amend the constitution. We will deal with the constitution. But constitution is not what we are suffering today. We are living in a country that is unproductive. Some of you here are sending money every day to your people to live. Why can't they work? Why are they not productive? There's so many things. I lived in this country for several years. My neighbor owns a factory in India. They were producing something and he was importing it to this UK and selling and making money. And people were employed. But for every month, if you send money for people to build factory in Nigeria now, they will eat it. If you send money to build they will eat it. Things that they have anything to do with constitution. It has to do with the values we must change. Because we have seen a criminalized country where people think everything is for consumption. How can you want 24 hours there and send money to people and they will throw it away? These are things we want to change. So it's not only constitutional matter. Let's deal with the people at the back.
In the northern part of Nigeria. Now we have over 25,000 food soldiers going door to door in the northern parts, across the northern states of Nigeria, Diaspora Assembly. My question is, given what has recently come out on the challenges that are being presented by Annex and the Constitution when it comes to the diaspora funding the campaign, how do we get across this particular hurdle? Because our mandate is to deliver the North for you. That's what we're trying to do. But we have this as a challenge. It's growing in number, it translates into millions. They're doing a rally on the 17th of September, and we really want to know how we can work with the Labour Party to make this work for you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, sir. Many of us in London, in the diaspora, would love to support your campaign. So what steps can we take, active and practical steps can we all take in this room to continue to support your campaign and ensure you get into office?
Thank you. My name is Vitalis Agaba. My question is, please, how will you tackle the issue of the marginalization of Igbo in Nigeria? For example, Igbos or Southeast is the only country, is the only part of Nigeria that you will have no train station or railway pass in it. I can't be traveling from here down to Nigeria every time and I will stop over in Lagos or either Abuja. Why can't I travel from here and land in southeast of Nigeria?
Hello, no problem. Everybody is free to ask any question. Every question is welcome. But let me start with you, my brother. Let me start with you. Every part of Nigeria is marginalized. I was governor of the state. And when I say that I said it so, I have never, say how many times I said, felt marginalized. You see this election, I don't want anybody to vote for me because I'm an Igbo man. I don't want anybody to vote for me because I'm a Christian. I don't want you to vote for me because it's my turn. I don't want you to vote for me. But I'm saying that in this election, put everybody who is contending on the scale. Let's choose the best. your turn, or is this everybody? Just like I came here now, let every candidate come here and tell you people who his name, his age, who he was, everything about his life. I'm not competing on tongue. So don't sympathize with me. That is what we need to do in Nigeria. We need to create a level playing field where people's talent and energy will match up their opportunity. That's what they like. That's why Nigeria is not progressing. Because everybody thinks, that's why it's not what you ask now is why Nigeria is failing. That's why it's not a country that is. I went to Niger State. I met people, and eventually I ran into the government. And I told him, we can't continue this formula of sharing. We must change this formula to production. Nigeria today is not a producing country. Niger State is a state with 76.3 thousand square kilometers of land. Fertile land. They can't feed themselves. They can't feed Nigeria. They don't export anything because we're sharing money from oil. So every month they go to Abuja to get their own share of 4 billion naira. In the year, they get 50 billion. Niger State, compared with Netherlands. Netherlands, if you remove water, it's at 30,000 square kilometers of land. So Niger State is 2.5 times the size of Netherlands. Netherlands agricultural export last year, 2021, is $120 billion. If Niger State were able to feed themselves and exported 1% of that, you'll be $1.2 billion. Go and multiply it with the rate of exchange today at 650. They will have about 750 billion. That's 5 times their budget. But they're waiting to share money from oil. That's what Nigeria needs to stop. It must be a productive country. Because we have that country. No marginalization. If they like, let me tell you, I said it here, they have rail for Kaduna. If you're Kaduna, you won't enter the rail. Even the rail, because the rail is not safe anymore. So the people who have the rail can't even enter it. That is the problem. So don't worry about rail. We will build rail. So people can enter. You ask questions. I'm going to come to you, sir. I just wanted this person who wants the rail. Let's fix the rail people. When they are safe, they'll enter rail, proper rail. Practical steps to support me. Let me tell you. Do not take this as supporting people. You're supporting the turnaround of Nigeria. What I'm doing today, I've done it exactly 20 years ago, in 2002. And I'm telling you, the reason why I said let everybody come here and talk to you people so that not through proxy with his mouth, so he takes notes. Because soon now, they'll tell you that citizens doesn't get through this person. No. Let him come and take his mouth and say it. Listen to him, take note, document it, so that tomorrow you can ask him, you say this, look at where we are. I'm here answering you, so don't say you are helping me. You are helping to turn around Nigeria. And I assure you, like I will assure everybody here, the story will be different. I'm not promising I'm going to change it overnight. People have asked me questions. What will you do in the first 100 days? I'll say no. Forget that. Nigerian issue is not 100 days issue. We are going to deal with this decisively. It will take time. But you will be able to see the visible improvements. You will see it, you can measure it, you can feel it. That is what is important. Diaspora issue of funding and INEC. I know every day people say, let me tell you, nobody has categorically, and I hope everybody is stepping in, nobody has given me $1. So all these things people are saying, they've raised this money on the bills. It's unfortunate that I even hear they're talking about diaspora funding or not. We're even looking for the dollars. If anybody will put it in, we will take it home. You know, but we haven't seen any. So maybe it will still come, you know, but I assure you that nobody can stop you from using your money the way you want to use it. I don't know why people even bother with that. I'm not bothered with it. Nobody has given me money, but I'm sure those who stole money and shared dollars, nobody did anything to them. And then how people who work hard want to spend their money has become a problem. But it's okay. We will deal with that when the time comes. On the Labour Party, somebody said we should ensure that Labour win everywhere. Let me tell you, that is not the problem. Labour will not win everywhere.
Realistic.
I've said it before. I was governor of Anambra State. We had 3 senators, different parties. 11 legislators, National Assembly, different parties. Members of local government, different parties. The 30-member house, I think it was only one that converted to me, different parties. It doesn't matter. If you mean well, you can go with anybody. It's when you have something to hide that you start looking for who allies and people who will tell you to listen to you, because they too want things to move. So I'm campaigning. If the candidate in Labour is good, vote for them. This time we will vote person. Yes. Yes. We've tried the party. It didn't work. I said we have tried, it didn't work. Religion did not work. Competence. My tongue did not work. Connection did not work. This time, we will do it differently. It is time for us to do it differently. Yes, sir.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much. Now, my question is very simple. How can you convince us that your movement is not here today, gone tomorrow? After your 2 terms, how are we sure the structure you put in place will continue? Very simple question.
Well, youth come first.
We have youth here.
Thank you very much. Mr. Obi, I was privileged to be a youth corper in 2014, almost at the end of your tenure. So I was a witness to the work you did. I was a teacher in Girls High School, Agulu, and I taught them computer science with some of the computers that he provided for all the schools in Anambra State. So, yes, that's what I verified. So in terms of, I believe everyone in this room supports you in one way or the other. But my question is might come as a criticism, but it's on the back of what the gentleman here said. Some of the gains you made as governor, you will agree with me, a lot of them were erased after your tenure. No, I'm not blaming him. My question is, have you learned from that experience? In the sense that, what are your plans to make sure that whatever progress we make going forward are institutionalized, so that we don't have criminals coming to take over?
No, don't worry. Sir, you have asked a question. The young man your son have reoffended, but let me answer the question to you. When people talk about the institution, you know how things are institutionalized. The people. It's the people. There's no, today, let me tell you, do you know why I have to say this in Britain freely? You know why Boris Johnson was removed? No, 1 minute. Eh? He went to battle. No, don't take it serious. No. He went to battle. He didn't. There's nowhere it's in their constitution that you can't go to battle. I was here when the theater had an issue. He was the Tory party chairman. He wrote beautiful books and everything. What did he do? He had an affair with the prostitute, which he paid, but he denied. He lied. So, is that their constitution? No. You don't institution, but because the people cannot take it. In Nigeria, justice that we are raised. Let me give you, because you asked this question, I must answer it. In Nigeria, in my 8 years of being governor, nobody took a bottle of wine in government house. Because I had a situation where I go to Abuja and I'm told by the leaders there that nobody is happy with you. And I said, yeah, nobody is happy. And I'll tell them, it's simple. I never promised anybody happiness. I promised to fix school. Nowhere. And I'm not promising people happiness today. No happiness. I promise you, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll increase power. It has nothing to do with happiness. You know? Those who want happiness is that there's people whose job it is. Comedians and musicians. Not the happiness people. When I left, whatever happened, the people tolerated it. You said I bought computer. I went to HP. HP is still in Lagos and told them I'm going to buy 37,000 computers. They said nobody has bought it in Africa. I said I will pay you. I paid them up front. I supplied to all our schools. In my first tenure, so you know how people work. That school you taught, they had 2 buses. I bought the first bus, in my first tenure, I bought the first bus for them. In my second tenure, I bought the second because I said every 4 years. Somebody else came and said 8 years. 4 years past, they didn't ask me about us. They didn't ask me about us. Which institution do you need to do that? No, it's the people who say, okay, listen, they buy it every 4 years. I put internet in every school, pay for the servicing annually. It's the people that ask. I give every school money directly. Somebody was talking about corruption. You were not there when I quarreled with federal government and everything. In Ubek, they used to give us money. The way Ubek work is that they give Anambra State money. Anambra will give state will give local government. Local government will give school. So here is federal government, he is state, he is local government, he is school. And I said, no, I disagree with it. Why can't this money go from here to this man? What is all this don't get all about? Because the money to get there, I couldn't with everybody. They was on strike. That is the problem. So, we solved the toll gate. When I left, people allowed me to come back. I'm not going to do that. You've done your bit, you move on. I know it is the people. I just told you now that if this force tomorrow buys new house, they don't need you law. The neighbors, everybody will be shouting. He just want a new house. That's how it works. But in Nigeria, the neighbors will be praising him. Your Excellency, hey, drinking wine with him. He buys another one. Then they will bring bishop. He will start praying that God has blessed him. Wherever he got it from, may God multiply it. So it is not. It has nothing to do with this decision. When people talk about this decision, it's not true. It is the people. Like I said, no. Look at this picture of you. We know where he lived before. So what is he talking? But this one, you start celebrating with him. And that's it. You stop it. And that's what I'm asking everybody to do today. Nothing stops our leaders from living normal life. They must not live like every other person. I came here now like every other person who came here. Nothing stops you. Nobody has gone to enter underground and they say, oh, you can't enter because you are contesting for presidency. No! You give them your ticket, enter. It's where you go. It's fast and better. Why is it? But the man will come here, Nigerians will help him, he will shut up 5 vehicles in London. You'll be staying in a hotel that no one. So these are things we must question the rascality. That's so that we will rationalize it by the people.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Ekman, the radio. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk. I commend you, I commend your courage, Mr. Peter Obi, for coming out to lead a new revolution in Nigeria. I was part of politics and I saw what it's like and I know what it's like. But my message today is not really to Mr. Peter Obi. My message today is to all of us here in Diaspora that for each one of us, I'm sure we all have family and friends at home, it is very important that the message that is representing is transferred home to our own people, that each person can have 10 people and make sure that they will vote Mr. Peter Obi. I'm not online a party, I don't believe in party in Nigeria, I believe in individual because that's the only way we can make this change that we really want. If the head is good, I believe the body will move better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't know how we're going to do this so that we can be very quick and end. Because you know people are going to work tomorrow. If you leave me, I don't have any problem. We will stay as long as possible. But let me do one more thing
Ladies and gentlemen, can I just point out we have less than 10 minutes left on this. So can I just plead that if we cannot get to you, His Excellency will take questions, written questions, and respond to them. And I promise you, he responds to them.
People have talk about cabals, this, about that. And I know the cabals is your enemy. Your Excellency, sir, is our enemy. I mean the cabals, they are your enemies, they are our enemies. So, my question is, if you know your enemy, you will be able to defeat your enemy, right? So I want you to tell us here, God honest truth, do you know the cabals? Do you know your enemies?
I'll be very quick. My name is Njenje, and thank you for today. My question is this, really.
What you've done is that you've given us hope. And that hope we hear journey here. The whole of Nigeria is hoping. Okay, so, but the biggest problem we have now, which everyone knows, is INEC. Can you give us confidence that you have confidence in INEC? And now we've seen lots of pictures about what's happening with PVCs now. Are you really, really confident about the system that with all the work we've done here, that the best man will actually win? If they win you, honestly, we'll accept it. But are you honest? Are you really confident with the system in place, please?
No, I have 3 questions. Let me just answer these 3 very quickly. The 3 questions are, somebody asked, 1, do you know the cabals? How will you deal with them? Well, the cabals, I believe, are the people who leave us the confusion today. And we can deal with it. That is the people who are the cabals. Number 2, somebody asked about agitation and those who are agitating. And I said to him, it's a very simple thing. Agitation is all over the world. We've seen it in Brazil, we've seen it in Mexico, we've seen it everywhere in the world. The way you deal with agitation is that you consult, you discuss with the people that are involved.
Exactly.
There's agitation everywhere. There's agitation in our houses. Let nobody think agitation is different. My children often disagree with me. We settle it. My wife disagrees with me. We settle it. That's agitation. It's not as if it's a foreign thing. If people say I don't agree, people say they don't want to live here, you look at it and say, let's sit down and talk. Maybe you're the one wrong. Maybe they're right. And you discuss it. Agitation requires dialogue, consultation, and show of fairness and justice. And you reduce it. So it's not a rocket science. It's something that you can reduce overnight. It's something that I've met before, and we were able to deal with it. On top of INEC, let me tell you, whenever I do insurance, whenever people complain to me about insurance, what I ask them is your life insured. Because if you who is insuring everything is not there, so I trust INEC. Just like I trust the system. Just like people ask me here, what are you going to do? Those people you are sending money, you're controlling them. You are the one to preach to them about good governance. They don't know. Some of them have given up. Tell them, advise them. Somebody asked me here about diaspora voting, and I said it in black and white. As I was coming, I said 2023 is the last time people in diaspora will not vote. If diasporas from Angola, Ghana, Kenya, everywhere can vote, why not Nigeria? That shows the confusion. The giant of Africa is one that is voting in everything. And there's nothing wrong in voting, except that they know they can't buy you. So they need to take the people they can buy. Thereby, we can insist and refuse. For now, you can campaign through your process. Those people that ask you, those people you meet in church, everything and say, don't ask for favor. Put this man here. Put this man here. Put this man here. Who can we trust among these 3 people? That's what I told somebody this evening. I said, I know who you're supporting. This evening, I said, between me and this person, if we are asked to manage your company, who will you allow to manage it? A big man this evening. I said, I'm just saying, between me and this man, who will you allow to manage your company? He kept quiet. I said, between me and this man, who will hear money to get quiet? Take it and let's eat first. I said, no. I want you to tell me who. Please, we're not running a private company. And I'll tell you something. I traveled I left the UK to Canada. I flew with people from different, it was a Nigerian team. Because 3 people was in the plane, we all came from different areas. And an argument ensued. And I asked them a question. Do any of you know the pilot of this plane? They said no. So why did you enter the plane? And they kept quiet. None of us knows the pilot. The reason why we enter the plane is because we are sure the pilot is qualified. That's all. I said, in Nigeria, the one who is inside there will not be qualified, and he wants to fry people. I'm going to crush everybody. That's the problem. I said, why don't we deal with competent people? That's all. So nobody knows. I have traveled from Nigeria. I was going to Kenya for something. I was going to do a study of education in Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, all the East African countries. And I wanted to fly Kenya Airways. I said it to anybody. And it was very expensive. And I said, no, the must is a cheaper way to go to Kenya. And I found out that Rwanda Airways will have the price. I bought Rwanda Airways. And I came home, my wife said to me, I just run Rwanda Airways. I said, no. She said, well, what will you buy? I said, listen, they were cheaper. And I saw, he said, but how can you just take that? And I said, listen, they put the pilot there, I'm sure. The person will not want to commit suicide. I went there, when I arrived at the airport, the 2 aircraft there were 2 brand new. The aircraft they had was a brand new Airbus. I entered that aircraft, it took off. 1 hour after taking off, the captain came out and said to me, good afternoon, Your Excellency, my government. And I said, well, he said 2 of us in that cockpit are Nigerians. 2 of them we are a driver. So what am I saying? They hire them because they are qualified. In Nigeria, they are saying they came from East, they came from West, and then the place will collapse. That's why they don't Nigerian Airways. Because they are going to fly with people from North, East, and West. The place collapses. Why don't you fly with people that are competent? And that is what I'm asking. Bring all the people who are contesting. Let them come and campaign. Tell you what they will do. No pros. Stand like I'm standing here. I talk to you. And you listen to them. Some people telling you, oh, by the time you get down, they are calling you people dinner in a 5-star hotel with the money they've taken from the system. Then you're eating it, they are settling you, you're saying, oh, because it's this, because it's that. They've been building Lagos in the road since I came to Lagos 20 years ago. So that is what they're telling you. And that's what I'm only begging this time around. Let's not use that method. Let me tell you, if we stay here, it will not end. So I'm going to please, and we're going to help. I'm not a Nigerian. Huh? I'm not a Nigerian. So come. Since you're not a Nigerian, you're African. Let's allow one African.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the privilege and the opportunity that you've given me to bring out my issue. I'm originally from the DRC Congo, one of the largest and the wealthiest nation in the world, potentially. I'm very interested. I'm a bit more. I'm more of a Pan-Africanist 9. So I kind of listened to, I'm interested in the African politics. Bear with me, a bit nervous. I'm a pastor. I'm a part of a platform where we've been praying for years about Africa. And Nigeria is still on our list of nations in Africa that we've been praying for. Believe in God for a turnaround. Because we are, in that platform, we are of the opinion that once Nigeria, because the power brain of Africa is really in Nigeria. Once Nigeria gets it right, I'm sure Africa is going to shoot, and the sky will be the limit. But following you around, because I've been following you closely, and I had to tweet. I tweet sometimes in July or June. When I listened to you, I tweeted. I said, Peter Obi's candidacy is not just about Nigeria. It's about Africa. So my question is, I haven't heard your policy about Africa. You know that Congo has been going through a lot. Unfortunately, because of our neighbors being used by multinational companies. So I just want to hear your brain, because I believe that you are getting into that office next year, and what are you going to bring on the table? My name is Mark Menda. Thank you.
Let me assure you, Africa remains the
big
centerpiece of our foreign policy as a nation. The reason why you haven't heard it is that, for me in particular, it is important. I've got to greet a senior brother before he leaves. It's very, very important. Because
I want to ask him one question. Mr. Obi, you're very important to us. Incidentally, I come from Abuja. I don't live here. I'm holidaying here. Mr. Obi, you're very important to us. What are you doing about your security in Nigeria?
Thank you. Okay. Africa remains the centerpiece of our foreign policy. Congo and the DRC and all that similarity. But you will agree with me that you can't have a strong foreign policy with a weak domestic.
There is one question that he has.
You have to deal with your domestic stability, have a robust economy,
Well, that should be the
and everything. I was speaking to people in Washington, and those people were telling me this, and I said to them, I know about the economy and the robustness of the economy very well. And you're hearing G7, G8, and G9, G20, G40 is the economy. If the economy is good, they put you in 1G. If the economy is not good, they put you in G9. Nobody puts you anymore. So if you want to belong to any G, you fix your economy. It's like human being. If you are doing well, people invite you for vacations and parties. If you are not doing well, nobody invites you. Because nobody wants you. It's a human. So for me, first is to deal with Nigerian local solution. Thereafter, you need Africa. You need economies to work in Africa. Africa is today a continent of over 2 billion people. It's a huge market. Intertrade in Africa, even with Africa, is less than 10%. Imagine if you increase that to 50%. With Nigeria as manufacturing base, pop and DRC doing their own thing, it will be a win-win for everybody. The only content remaining for Africa, all these people here are foreign investors. No white man will go to Nigeria unless they come. It's when these people start taking their money, today they transfer, they say diasporas bring home $20 billion in Nigeria. But guess what? That 20 billion is ends up with welfare, burial ceremony, illness, this, that. I want them to bring to white that as an investment. Where they are, they build local factories, they turn around and see, today he said Indians are running tech companies and pharmacy companies. Indians have the best hospitals. They started with Indian doctors here. Indian doctors in the US. Pharmaceutical companies, tech companies, those are met in school. I have 2 colleagues that I met in school. Why going around different schools? Like I told you, my neighbor here had a factory in India. So this is what I want them to come and do. That's why I'm telling them, let's fix that place. So instead of sending money from people here, you can build a factory there. The factory pays you dividend. The people are employed. They earn. You live well and they live well. And you working 24 hours here and sending money to people to eat. And then when they die, you go and bury them. No. No pension. You are the pension. You pay the salary. You are going to pay the pension. You are going to bury them. We can't continue like that. So we've dealt with Africa. And I assure you, my dear elder brother, I'm doing whatever I can do with this issue of security. And I'm begging people, telling you, like I said before, I've had all sorts of complaints, all sorts of threats, but we cannot continue the way we are. It will consume everybody. People are being killed every day. People are dying every day. And people are keeping quiet. And when you say, this is wrong, they say, why did you say it? No. It's not true. We will challenge that rascality. We will deal with it. We have millions of youth in their productive age being normal, with so much energy, with so much talent that if we put money in them, they will change the world. And that's what we want to do. We want them to be productive. We're not asking for anything. We just want our youth to be productive by employing them and creating jobs. So my dear people, I believe that we have done enough. I'm pleased for those who do have opportunity of asking questions, there will be one way or the other you can reach me. And this is not the last time I'm coming here. I'll show you that throughout this campaign, there will be other places you meet me in this London. But I'm begging you, 2023 election, please do not vote for anybody because of tribe. Do not vote because of religion. Do not vote because it's the person's turn. Do not vote for his connection or what it is. Let us look for a character we can trust. Somebody who is competent, somebody who has capacity, and somebody who will be committed to turning Nigeria around. Thank you and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Please, can we just...
Sorry, can everybody sit down, please? No, please. Please, can everybody sit down?
Can we all sit down? Can we sit down? I think something we should have started with Can I plead with you all to sit down? We shall take photographs, don't worry. Something we should have done at the start of this program, but brevity of time did not allow us. Reverend Akobundo, please, I think it's important at this stage that you lead us in prayer.
Closing prayer.
Closing prayer.
So can I know that we close with God?
Good evening, Your Excellency, and good evening, my brothers and sisters. We are going to pray now to hand over this movement to the Lord and hand over our country, Nigeria, into the hands of the Almighty God. Because with Him, nothing is impossible. We are going to pray that the Lord's ordinary, God's power is in you, and He will lead you through. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty God, we thank you for the gift of today. We thank you for our country, Nigeria. We thank you for all the blessings, human and material. We thank you for your goodness and mercies, and for everything you've done for us. And Lord, as we gather here tonight, we gather in your name and in the name of our country, Nigeria. Father, we pray to you. Bless our brother, Peter Obi. Grant him more strength. Grant him more wisdom. Grant him more courage. Father, grant him more faith in you. Lord, grant all of us gathered here one spirit in mind to work collectively for the good of our country, Nigeria. That we shall gather again to rejoice for the glorious things you have done in our country. And we will live in peace and harmony. We will live in joy and understanding. We will have Nigeria as one of the best countries in Africa and the whole world. Father, we know you can do it. And we know with you all things are possible. Bless us and our brothers and our sisters in Nigeria through Christ our Lord. Amen. The Lord be with you. May the Almighty God bless you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.